Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa man yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. All praises be to Allah. We praise Him. We ask Him for help. And we ask from Him forgiveness. We seek refuge from with Allah Ta'ala from the badness of ourselves and the evilness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever being given from Allah Ta'ala guidance, then nobody can make him astray. وَمَنْ يُدْلِلْ, and whoever being astray by Allah Ta'ala make him misguided, then nobody can give guide to him. I bear witness, there's no God except Allah. Only Him, no associate for Him. And I also bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His messenger and His servant. Our topic today, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will go into the topic about purification of the soul, or Tazkiyah An-Nafs. And we just got notes that one of our member is actually has just passed away, Haja Asmah binti Maidin. May Allah Ta'ala forgive her and give her good place with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and protect her from any question in the grave. Amin. After all that, then we come back to our topic. Our topic is actually about purification of soul, because actually when if we look back at ourselves, we human actually been given by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala element of life. We have our body that needs bodily needs by eating food and doing any worldly things. And we also have our soul, which the soul is actually what we feel and what we think with it. We think, our thought, and we say that we say I myself, or your inner self is actually what meant by soul in Islam. Human did think about where the soul reside in the human body, whether it's in the heart or in the mind or in the whole body. Allah Ta'ala knows best, but He doesn't mention about the soul. Is actually all the body of a human actually contain the soul. As we our figure is like this in our life, also our soul is actually it is similar with the body that we have. The scholars said that this is the thing because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did say to his companion, whoever see me, man ra'ani fil manam, in his dream, faqad ra'ani, then he is actually seeing me. Fa inna shaitan la yatamathalu bi, because shaitan cannot make an appearance as like me. So because the Prophet said like that, we know that the Prophet, the companion of the Prophet, know the look of the Prophet, his body, his hair, his face. So also when the Prophet said that whoever sees me inside in his dream, he is really seeing me. So we know that when we dream, when we sleep, our soul is actually came out from our body and will go to the place that Allah SWT has already make us go to go. Because in the Quran in Surah Al-Zumar, verse 42, Allah Ta'ala said, Allah yatawaffal anfusa hina mautiha. Allah, He is the one that make the human wafat. And He doesn't say die. So wafat can mean the two meanings. Allah yatawaffal anfusa hina mautiha. Allah, He is the one that make the soul. 42, verse 42, Surah Al-Zumar. Allah yatawaffal anfusa hina mautiha. Allah, He is the one that make the soul to become wafat. Wafat. I don't say die, because actually the word wafat can be bigger than the meaning of die, because the inside the surah or the verse, Allah Ta'ala used the word wafat. Allah yatawaffal anfusa. Allah is the one who make wafat to the soul hina mautiha, when it dies. Wallati lam tamut, and also Allah Ta'ala make wafat for those who didn't die, fi manamiha, in their sleep, in the soul sleep. When they sleep, the Allah Ta'ala also make the wafat. So wafat is actually containing from two sides. If you die, you are wafat. If you are sleeping, you are wafat. Fayumsiku allati qada 'alaiha al-maut, then Allah Ta'ala will hold on to those who being destined to become upon the soul that died. Wa yursil ukhra, Allah Ta'ala will let go other than those who died, ila ajali musamma, until certain times. Inna fi dhalika la ayatin liqaumin yatafakkarun. Verily, in that there are sign for those who are thinking. So when we look into that verse, Surah Al-Zumar 42, we know that our body and our soul is actually two things different. Then when we nourish our body with nourishment, with water, with foods, we have to think about the nourishment for our soul also, because this is the thing that many people after becoming a Muslim, or want to follow the guide of the Prophet, they left out the topic about nourishing the soul, or purifying the soul, because like your body can be tarnished, can be filth with anything that dirty, can be dirty by any filth. Also your soul also can have that same similar effect, because your soul also is because you have the two things, your body and your soul. So you have to think about your soul also. You cannot say that I want to think about the soul, because my body is actually I've done everything. My feeling is nothing to care about. That's so wrong. It's so wrong to think like that. Then Allah SWT did mention to us in Quran, in Surah Al-Jumu'ah, verse number 2, to say that the task of the prophets came to us. One of the tasks is actually to purify the soul. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Jumu'ah, verse number 2, Allah Ta'ala said, Huwallazi ba'atha fil ummiyina. He is the one who sent to the Ummi nation. Ummi nation means Arabs. The Arabs, because they once before doesn't care about writing and numbering and calculating, because the Prophet himself did say that nahnu qaumun ummi, we are an ummi nation. La naktub wala nahsa, la naktub wala na'ud. We don't write, we don't calculate. Ash-shahru hakadha wa hakadha wa hakadha. It is because one of the companion of the Prophet did say to the Prophet, give an opinion, so that the month in Islam, the starting of the month, being calculated like being done by other nation. So the Prophet answered to him that we are Ummi nation, not to be proud of, but it's actually to make it easy for them when they want to know, is it the month already enter the new month or not? Because in Islam, the circle of the moon, or the moon from the start of the moon until the end of the moon, from the small to the become big full moon, and after that become uh, small. Actually, that is the way the Muslim or the Arabs at that time used to put their calendar, to know that this is the month for what. Like Ramadan, when it come Ramadan, Allah Ta'ala make us do the fasting, so we have to know when is Ramadan. So the entering of the leaving of the month is actually by moon. So one of the companion of Prophet suggests for the Prophet to use calculation. So the Prophet said, "Nahnu kaunu ummi." We are the ummi nation. La naktub wa la na'ud aw nahsa. We don't write, we don't calculate. Ash-shahru hakadha wa hakadha wa hakadha. The Prophet give sign by saying that like this, like this, like this. Sometimes it's 30, sometimes 29, 29. So because the month by calculation, by seeing the moon face, we will see that some month in Islam have 30 days, and some of it have 29 days only. So the Prophet just said, look at the moon. Okay. So so when we look back at the ayah, the Suratul Jumu'ah, verse number 2, Allah Ta'ala said, Huwallazi ba'atha fil ummiyin. He, Allah Ta'ala, is the one who sent to the Ummi nation Rasulan, a messenger. Minhum, from among them. Not from outside, from among them. Huwallazi ba'atha fil ummiyina Rasulan minhum, so, from among them, a messenger from among them. Yatslu alayhim. And the task of the Prophet is, or the task of the messenger is, Yatslu alayhim ayatihi. So he recite to them his sign. The word Yatslu alayhim ayatihi doesn't mean actually ayat. The ayat doesn't mean ayat, sentence. Because in Arabic language, the word ayat can, or actually originally means sign. Means that the Prophet will come to the nation, and first thing first, he will teach them the sign of Allah. Yatslu alayhim ayatihi. Convey to them, recite to them the sign of Allah. Means that to make sure that all of them knows who are their God, Allah. And secondly, وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, and to purify them. And then we will learn about what is purification. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابُ وَالْحِكْمَةِ, and teach them kitab and teach them hikmah. So the four tasks being given to the Prophet: first, to convey to them, to recite to them the sign of Allah, so that they know who their God, and after that, not immediately to learn about the revelation, or to learn about what being command to them, kitab and the sunnah. But the first thing first is being given to them is actually so that they will be purified first before learning. The scholar says that this are being mentioned to us by Allah Ta'ala, and the sequence being put like that, so that we know that before we want to learn about Islam, about what Allah Ta'ala want us to do, about whatever Allah Ta'ala command to us, to make sure that we will success in this life and after this. So we first thing first, before we learn what been revealed to us in the kitab, or been mentioned to us, or being said to us, or being explained to us by the Prophet, we have to purify ourselves. When I say about the sequence, if we look in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 100, 130, 127, no, 26. Wait, because I remember the verse, but I don't remember the number of the ayat. Because in the ayat, when Allah Ta'ala said about Ibrahim and Ismail, when they built 129, Surah Al-Baqarah 129, verse number 129. When Allah Ta'ala said in that ayat, when Abraham and Ishmael, they built Kaabah, they pray to Allah Ta'ala, to Allah, few things. And the last thing they asked from Allah Ta'ala in verse number 129, they said, Rabbana, O our Lord, wab'ath fihim, send unto them, to our children, our people in Makkah, Rasulam minhum, a messenger from among them, Yaslu alaihim ayatika, who will, the messenger who will recite to them your sign. Wa yu'allimuhumul kitaba wal hikmata, and teach them kitab and teach them hikmah. Wa yuzakkihim, and purify them. In the du'as, then after that, Ibrahim and Ismail said, Innaka antal azizul hakim, verily you are most powerful and most wise. So in that ayat, in that verse, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 129, we can see that when Abraham and Ishmael pray to Allah Ta'ala to get, to be sent a prophet or a messenger to those who reside in Mecca, they said that the task for the messenger is you are yatlu alaihim ayatika, to teach them your sign. Wa yu'allimul kitab wal hikmata, to teach them kitab, the books, and wal hikmata, the explanation of the book. Wa yuzakkihim, but also purify them. When inside the du'as of Abraham, the purification is actually put last after being known to the sign of Allah, being taught the book, and being taught about the explanation of the book, then only come the purification. That is what the sequence been asked by Abraham. But when Allah Ta'ala give the answer like in the surah Al-Jumu'ah, verse number 2, Allah Ta'ala put the importance of purification of the soul is actually after knowing Allah, is immediately purification of those who actually are there. And purification in sense of what we say here is actually by being given obligation by Allah Ta'ala, like salat, wudu, and everything, actually become the cleanse for the human. So because when we want to learn our topic about cleansing our soul, we will see that the way of the true way about purification of the soul is actually through the way of the Prophet. So the Prophet way is actually starting from Tawheed, and after that all the obligation be given by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, not by just meditating under the tree or inside a cave, because this is really what being taught. Because the task of purifying those who are actually following the Prophet is being given to the Prophet. We actually feel sad in our days now, because people when they want to purify their soul, being misguided or misled by certain people, by few people said that come and they achieve to get those people who want to purify their soul. Because sometimes, yes, I can see that when we learn Islam, we learn about the salah, about the fasting. Sometimes the teacher doesn't relate about purification of the soul inside all the ibadah. So sometimes certain people thought that I want to learn how to worship Allah, I go to masjid or to school or Islamic school or Islamic center. But I want to purify my soul, I go to cave. I go to the cave or inside a well or near a grave, so that my soul will be purified. Because we doesn't see any of this action being done by the companion of the Prophet. When they being taught about Islam by the Prophet, never ever the Prophet told them, you go to the grave of the people who been killed. You go to inside the house being left. You go under a tree. Never ever the Prophet told them to do something like that. But by the way of worship being taught by the Prophet, that is the way is supposed to be purification being happen to the human. So our topic now, when we want to take about this topic, I come along a book being compiled by Sheikh Abderrazzaaq Al-Badr. He's the same same author of the book that we use for Asmaul Husna, and also for the fake dua and zikir. Will be next week, because this is the second week, because our meeting for fake dua and zikir, the knowledge or the knowledge or explanation about doa, doa to Allah Taala, apa our doa and our zikir is actually we will be taking it in odd numbers of week, 1, 3 or 5. If the month have 5 week, fifth week, then we have the first and the third and the fifth, because second week like today is actually I have already an engagement before, so cannot let go of that engagement right now. So we will take we say first, third and fifth, if the fifth week is there. If not, first and third, first and third, yeah, first and third week. Second and fourth week actually I cannot do the class. So anyhow the author is the same, because Sheikh Abderrazzaaq Al-Badr, when he compile the topic, we can see that he give many thought about the topic he mentioned. He tried to explain to us, and the book that we use actually being published in 2008, and the title is Ashru Qawaid fi Tazkiyah An-Nafs, 10 qawaid, 10 pillars, or 10 discipline fi Tazkiyah An-Nafs, in purification of the soul, in purification of the soul. So 10, and the book is actually not really that big, only around 30 pages, 30 pages. So I don't think it's actually quite heavy. No, 50 pages. Okay, 50 pages. But the writing, the letters is quite big, so it's not really a long book. But the sequence and being made by Sheikh is actually so easy for us to learn, inshallah. Okay. Like always, like I said before, that our classes will be using Arabic text. I will recite, and after that I will translate and I will explain, because we, as all of our audience, normally did learn about Arabic language. When we want to learn about recitation of Quran, after that we come to want to understand the explanation of Quran. Normally many of us did learn Arabic language, but how much did we get? Allahu alam. Some people got abundant of information and vocab, but some people doesn't have many. Because then actually if you look back to what is the cost that you come to learn Arabic language, years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, but never ever you come to close to understanding the Arabic. One of the reason is because you didn't use the Arabic language in your learning or studies. So we here at Al-Khadim, we want to encourage in our new classes, for that all of us try to use the knowledge of Arabic that we did took before, but doesn't practice the knowledge. And now we want to learn. We want to use the knowledge that we learn. So Allah SWT may make easy for us and make us understand Islam more, and actually will help us to do our deeds rightly and sincerely, so that Allah Ta'ala may please with us. Baik. we will like always we'll recite the introduction first. We don't ever just enter inside the first topic. We do the introduction first. Okay. Qala al-muallif, our author Sheikh Abderrazzaaq Muslim Al-Badr said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Muqaddimah, introduction. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. All praises be to Allah, Rabbil Alamin, Lord of all the universe. Wassalatu wassalam. Wassalatu wassalam. Good prayer. Good prayer. And peace. Good prayer and peace. Ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin, upon the noblest of the prophet and the seal of the messengers. Who? Our prophet, our example, Nabiina wa qudwatina, Qurata'ina, the happiness, our happiness. Muhammad bin Abdullah, Al-Hadi Al-Amin, the one, the guider and the most trusted. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, and upon his family and his companion, all of them. And wa man sahara ala hadihi, and whoever move on their guidance, ila yaumiddin, until the day of judgment. Actually, this is the way when we ask Allah Ta'ala to give good praises, good dua, good prayer for the Prophet. We always said also about his family and his companion, and about whoever follow them, because Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran in Surah At-Taubah, verse number 100, Allah Ta'ala said in that ayat, was-sabiqun al-awwalun, and those who early and early sabiqun al-awwalun, fast and early in Islam, entering Islam early. Al-awwalun minal muhajirin wa ansar, from among the muhajirin and from among the ansar. Walladhina taba'uhum bi ihsan, and whoever follow the companion of the Prophet, the muhajirin ansar, the first muhajirin and first ansar, follow them bil ihsan, with good following. Radiyallahu anhum, Allah Ta'ala will be pleased upon them. This is actually one of the highest thing that we want to achieve in our life. So Allah Ta'ala may be pleased upon us, pleased with us. So one of the condition is for us to follow the companion of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay. فَالنَّفْسُ الَّتِي بَيْنَ جَنْبَيِ الْإِنسَانِ أَمْرُهَا عَظِيمٌ. He said that the soul in which between the two sides of human inside our body, only that we don't know where to put it. I said to you that the soul is actually in all our body, in all our body, because like when the Prophet said, whoever see me in his dream, he see me, because the soul is actually exactly like the whole human. Only that the few discussion among the scholars about where does the mind or the self is located, either in the heart or in his brain, in his mind. This is the old topic. But if we look in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala always said that the heart is the place. In our research nowadays, people are saying the brain is the place, even though the word being used in the Quran or in the Sunnah, he said fuad, qalb, or qalb, or nafs. By not saying which one is it. For us, when we have the feeling, when we feel hurt, feel happy, the feeling that we have is actually meaning that we have the soul, and the soul is actually we don't know, we know it's actually within ourselves. And like we recite in the Surah Al-Zumar at verse 42, the soul is actually will be taken out. from our body when we died and when we sleep. The both. Only that when we sleep, it can come back. Because Allah Ta'ala will let go our soul because if you not die yet. But those who died, Allah Ta'ala will take their soul and will not return it to them. Will ever, until the day of judgment. So, the soul within our human, it matters, amruha azim. It matters, is so great. Wa sya'nuha kabir. And its deal is so big. Faqad aqsama Allahu azza wa jalla. Allah azza wa jalla has swears. When Allah Ta'ala swear upon anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can swear anything he wants. He can swear by the moon, by the star, by himself, by the time, anything, even his creation. We Muslim, we mu'min, cannot swear upon anything except Allah. It's not permissible. Even the Prophet ﷺ said that doing swears upon anything, upon love, upon the moon and the star, is actually shirk and cannot be done. If ever anything been done by anybody, he have to make to return to do tawbah immediately and make a pronunciation of shahadah. It cannot be let go like that because it is wrong. Because Allah Ta'ala is the only one that can be swear upon for mu'min. For mu'min, only Allah Ta'ala. But Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He Himself can swears upon anything, upon His creation. So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has swears. He said here, فَقَدْ أَقْسَمَ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ بِعَدِمِ مَخْلُقَاتِهِ الْكِبَارِ. Allah Ta'ala, Allah Azza wa Jalla, has swears with few of His great creation. Ad-dallati ala azamatihi sallallahu, that pointing towards to His greatness subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah Ta'ala creation from small little thing to the biggest thing in this world. So Allah Ta'ala have in what we want to relate to our topic, Allah Ta'ala did swears upon His big creation, great creation, that's pointing out to His greatness. In Surah Al-Shams, fi Surah Al-Shams, ala nafsil muflihah wa ghair muflihah, upon the successful soul and the unsuccessful soul. Both Allah Ta'ala is actually want to make us aware what He want to teach us. He said to he swears upon the successful soul and unsuccessful. He said, faqala ta'ala wasyamsi wa duhaha, by the sun and its brightness, wal qamari idza talaha, and by moon when it follows it. Because the movement of the sun and the moon, the sun is actually faster than the moon. Only the moon is nearer to us, so that we see the moon is actually come after that. After the sun being day by day, the moon is actually later than the sun in its rotation around us. Wan nahari idza jallaha, and by day, the daylight, when it's cover it, when it's display it. Wal layli idza yaghshaha, and by night, Allah Ta'ala swear by night, the night time, when it's cover everything. Was-sama ibana wa ma banaha, and by the sky and whatever He constructed it. Anything Allah Ta'ala built upon the sky, Allah Ta'ala is actually swearing with the sky and whatever He built. Wal ardi wa ma tahaha, and by the earth and what He has spread it. The meaning of the spread of the earth is actually the crust of the earth. For us, the crust of the earth where we live is actually because the earth actually have layers. The layer that we live on is actually only a portion of like equivalent like skin of an apple with the thickness of the apple. That is the we say comparison. So we actually being spread for us the earth, earth crust for us to live on it. wasama wal ardi wa tahaha wa nafsin wa ma sawaha, and by the soul and whatever he proportion it. Allah Ta'ala make it become the soul, or whatever being done by the soul. Fa'alhamaha fujuraha wa taqwaha. Then Allah Ta'ala said that he inspired the soul, its wickedness and its rightness. Qad aflaha man zakkaha. Verily, has succeeded whoever purified it. Wa qad khaba man dassaha. And verily has failed whoever instill or smear it smear the soul. So in this ayat, in this ayat, 10 times, 10 things Allah Ta'ala is actually swearing by the sun and its light, by the moon after it's followed the sun, by the day and when Allah made it bright, and by the night when it's covering everything, by the sky, whatever Allah built on it, and whatever Allah built on it, by the earth, and whatever Allah Ta'ala make it spread for us, and by the nafsin, and by the soul, whatever being done by the soul. So 10 things Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala swear upon. And after the swear, Allah Ta'ala give why is he swearing? Swear in Arabic, swearing, not swearing by saying bad words. Swearing mean by Allah, to say wallahi. The word like that is actually being used in Arabic to make emphasize any things that we want to say. You want to say something, you want to give an information. So you swear first to make sure that the people hearing your information will make attention being given to you. They give to full attention. The swear is for emphasizing. So in this ayat, in this surah, Allah Ta'ala swear 10 times. There's no any places in the Quran 10 swears in one row. We have in Surah Al-Asr, Wal-Asr, just one. In Surah Al-Layl, a few. In Surah Al-Fajr, a few. But no places in the Quran that Allah Ta'ala swear upon 10 things. 10 things. Then after that, he convey what he want to convey to us. And he say that فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَهَا, that he actually inspired the soul with wickedness and in rightness. Then he said, قَدْ أَفْلَهَا مَنْ زَكَّاهَا, verily have success whoever purified it. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا, and actually fail whoever tarnish, or we say here instill the soul. 10 things been said by Allah Ta'ala. So in Sheikh said, Abderrazzaaq Mohsin Badr said, قَوْلُهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, the saying of Allah Azza wa Jalla, قَدْ أَفْلَهَا مَنْ زَكَّاهَا, verily has succeeded who purified it, whoever purified the soul. The word being used there is zakah, or what our topic is tazkiyah. The word zakah or tazkiyah, the root word of it is zakah, zai, kaf, alif, wa ta marbutah, zakah. That it is the origin words of zakah means that exceeding in goodness. Here ziyadah fil khair, exceeding in goodness. When you say zakah, zakatun is actually exceeding in goodness. Wal murad bil ayati huna, and what being meant by the ayah here in this topic, in that sense, anna man sa'a fi tazkiyati nafsihi, that whoever work to purify his soul, wa islahihi, and to correct the soul, and wasumuiha, wa islahiha wa sumuiha, and to excel with the soul, to make it become higher. Bil iktisar, and the way is by doing many fidelity and goodness. Because whenever a person want to make sure that his soul actually being purified, he must do the obligation that been given to him by Allah. Because the first thing first for a human to make sure, when we will discuss it in the first topic after when we enter it, to make sure that we know that our place as a servant of Allah. Then we do everything, because yesterday somebody asked me, how do we want to make sure that we don't have riya, showing off our deeds to any other people, or to become loving to being said by other people. I said to the one who questioned me, I said that from what we read in the Quran and the Sunnah, among many things, one of the things is actually when a human know that he and whatever he did is actually a grant from Allah Ta'ala. He can do, like we now, we say we come into a class and learning, it's because Allah Ta'ala give us the opportunity, or given us the health, give us the ear, and the sight and the seeing, the capability of the hearing and seeing, that actually it is the thing that making us capable to do good deeds. That's the thing. When we realize that we actually got to do anything we did, it's actually because of Allah Ta'ala give us the opportunity for us to do it. That is one of the biggest way to realization. Then and for the training for that purpose, to know that you are actually a servant, you being owned by Allah, you have to follow and then do all the things that He command you to do. That is the way to become humble. You don't think that everything is yours. You know that you are actually tied to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala by doing every obligation being command to you, like salat 5 times a day. So that you be reminded that you are a servant of Allah. You actually doesn't own your world. Your world is actually created by Allah. You yourself actually be created by Allah. Everything around you is be created by Allah. So the thing actually, that's why here he said that whoever that the thing that the one who success, the soul who success really, that whoever doing work in purifying his soul by and correcting his soul and excelling his soul by doing many of the fidelity, the ta'at and khairat and the goodness, wal ibtian, and also to make sure that avoiding wickedness, wal ibtian an shurur wal sayyiat, to avoid by avoiding wickedness and badness, because actually that the thing that will tarnish, will smear your soul, because it is actually the opposite of become a servant of Allah, that you doesn't care about your Lord, your Creator, what He want you to do, or what he think about you. That is the most we say dangerous things that can happen to a person. Wickedness and badness, that soul that doing that, later tahaqqaqa falahuhu, its success will be a reality. Its success will be a reality. Any soul that have that work being done to make the soul purified, that is what will be a success. And other thing, he said that wa qawluhu azza wa jalla, Sheikh said also, and he said that and the saying of Allah azza wa jalla, the Almighty, said wa qad khaba man dassaha, and verily has failed whoever instills it. The word dassaha, aslu tadsiyah, the origin of the word tadsiyah is actually to conceal, to cover up, because it said here huwa al-ikhfa fal-asi, because the disloyal, whoever disloyal to Allah, who make maksiyah, who rebel towards Allah Ta'ala commands, qad akhfa nafsahu nafsahu al-karimata, he actually conceal his noble self. Noble. The self is noble, but he conceal it bifi'lil atham, by doing sins, wa tamriha birradha'ili wal khasa'isi, and by burying it with depravity and vileness. Means that anything, the soul is good but being covered by badness, by filth. Wa qam'aha, and also damping it, the soul. Wa ahlakaha, and destroying it bifi'lil uyub, by doing disadvantageous acts, by disadvantageous acts, anything that become disadvantageous, the wrong thing, the sin is actually disadvantageous for us, because Allah Ta'ala give us a good aql, or thinking, give us a better place than animals, so that we, by our power of mind, power of thinking, can be better than the animals. That's why Allah Ta'ala give us the mind. So when a person doesn't use the mind to make sure that he doesn't be as a same level as the animals, then we say that he already failed, and actually burying his good soul, good self inside all the things that make the soul actually become tarnished, become smeared. Hatta sara nafsan dani'atan wadi'atan munhattah, until the soul it turn into the soul it turn into a disgraceful, low, abortive soul, and also wastahaqqat bidhalika al-khaybata wa khusran, and it deserve with that disappointment and loss. Wal iyad billah, we seek refuge from Allah Ta'ala for ourselves to become like that. Okay, may Allah Ta'ala protect us from this from happening. So he said also, continue. He said that fan-nufusu sharifatu, the honorable soul, la tarda min al-ashya illa bi'a'laha, the soul will not agree with things except with the highest. Our soul is actually like that. If you give a good soul of a human, when he be given choices between things, like cars or house, normally it's naturally the soul will choose the best, or the most beautiful among what being given as a choice. This is what an honorable soul will have. La tarda min al-ashya, that will not agree with things except illa bi'a'laha, except with the highest, wa afdaliha, the best, and wa ahmadiha akibatan, and the most praised outcome, the most best result from among the things. The soul, the highest soul will actually wanting that. One nufusun dani'atu, but while at the same time the disgraced soul tahumu hawla dana'at, it will swarm around the dishonest things, watakau alaiha, and will stay upon the dishonest thing, kama yaqa'u dhubabu al-akdar, like flies stay on excrement. Actually, it's not really a good thing to imagine, but the soul is like that. When a good soul is always one things that actually good, but the soul that actually not being disgraced, or the soul that is actually lowered soul, not the highest soul of a human, will actually be like that, staying among the unclean, Even right now, actually, we did see inside some of our people in Malaysia. Sometimes they want to purify themselves, but by doing things that filthy thing, like searching for the sin of Allah through the garbage. The more filthy the person, the more person is actually the highest ranking of sin. This is actually something that cannot be calculated in normal mind. How can a person, because the Prophet SAW did show us that in Islam, what you say, happy with good things, like good smell, good arrangement, everything is actually being given to the soul of human. Unless the soul is actually so you say disgrace, it will become the opposite, because the Prophet SAW doesn't like bad smell. And he said even the angels will be disturbed by bad smell. So the Prophet did told the Sahaba, the companions, whoever eat uh, garlic garlic garlic, and also onion, don't come to the mosque because the smell. Even one of the it happened, the Prophet did take out, uh, told the companion to take out a person that come to the mosque with the smell, bad smell. So actually this is a natural thing for a person, for a good soul, to look to like to be liking a good things. But the disgraced soul, that's what you say, searching for a sin in garbage place. Said that the more the person is filth, the more dirty he is, the higher ranking of sin you will find. This unknown before, but happened in Malaysia. But actually, I did see something like that in Sudan. In Sudan, they have there what we say darwish, people who actually following the Sufi group. They wear green robes, green turban, and they don't take a bath. I did sit beside one of them inside the bus, and seriously, I can smell a goat beside me, not a human, a goat. But if you tell this story to those who following Sufi the group, they will say that that is because you actually not open up by Allah. That's why you smell bad from the guy. If Allah Ta'ala open up your eyes and your heart, you will smell the guy to be so beautiful smell. Inna lillah wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Because the Prophet SAW did tell the person who bad smell to get out from the mosque, cannot enter. That's the thing. Because actually, when you say that the bad soul, or the disgraced soul, it will swarm around the dishonest things, and will stay on it like flies on stay on in excrement. The high, I say, فالنفوس الشريفة العلية, and the noble soul and high noble soul, la tarda bil zulm, it doesn't agree with tyranny. Also la bil fawahish, no, also bi atrocity, not with a theft, wala bisariqati wala al khiyana, and not also betrayal. Actually, that the thing that supposed to be happen. A soul cannot be liking things that bad in sense of Allah. Like our nation just right now, sometimes feel sad because some of us still following people that lie upon the name of the Prophet. The person cannot hold their tongue to not lie upon the name of the Prophet. But many people can say that actually just one wrong. He has 100 good deeds. He just lie one lie. That's the thing that I will say that right now cannot brain. Being said by our youngsters right now. I cannot brain this thing. Because actually it doesn't it cannot be happening, because the soul that high and honorable don't agree with tyranny, no atrocity, not with theft or betrayal, because it is bigger. Because the soul, because the soul is actually bigger than that and higher than that, higher than that kind of you say act. Cannot be like that. Because cannot accept, because the soul the good soul only accept the good thing, and the bad soul only accept the bad thing. And he said also here, and where's the disgrace or dishonor or the vile soul. Dia kata wa nafsul mahinatu hakiratu al khasisatu. He said that the disgrace, dishonor and vile soul bididdi min dhalika will be at opposite of all that, of all the what the good soul will have. Fakulu nafsin tamilu ila ma yunasibuha wa yushakiluha, because every soul will incline with suitable, what suitable with it and identical to it, with what is suitable to it with it and identical. So it's identical, it will be happen, the soul will be like him, like that. Walamma kanat tazkiyah an-nafs bihadhil ahamiyah, and since the soul purification is by this importance, so important, wajaba ala kulli muslimin, is obliged upon every Muslim, nasihin li nafsihi, that sincere with himself. Because sometimes some people doesn't want to enter this topic, because when we learn about purification of the soul, it will come to correct us, the teacher, the student, everybody. Nobody is actually will pass out of that topic. And sometimes the learning of the topic sometimes can be annoying to some person, because he will say that everything he do is actually wrong, because Allah Ta'ala said you cannot do this, you cannot do this, your soul cannot be like this. Because the person normally when we like our we impress with ourselves, we like with our what we do, normally we doesn't like people to comment or bickering upon what we did. But when we learn about purification of the soul, all of that must be put away, put aside, because we have to follow what Allah Ta'ala want us to follow, not we want to follow what we like to follow. That's the thing. That actually upon the Muslim, nasihin li nafsihi, that is sincere to himself, ayyuna biha inayatan fa'iqah, to make sure to have extra concern with it, to have a extra concern about purification of the soul. Wa ayujahida nafsahu fi hayatihi, and he have to strive upon his soul in his lifetime, ala tahqiqi hadhil ghayatil hamidati, to realize, to make a reality this renowned goal, this good goal about making yourself become purified. Is actually the thing that you have to have inside your needs, inside your you say dream. You want to dream about this. This is the one thing that you have to make a goal in your life. Why? Liyufliha fi dunyahu wa ukhrahu, so that he becomes successful in his dunya and his akhirah. When ama bis sa'adati hakikiyati, and he being delight or enjoying the real happiness, because the real happiness is not about having everything in this world, because we know that many people say that having everything, you want everything anytime anywhere, then you are actually a happy person. That is really not true. You can see that how suicidal rate happen in people that actually we say successful in their life, traveling around the world, eating from the expensive restaurant, but in the end taking their own life. Or their parents actually most one of the most billionaire in the world, but they take their life, even though they have everything in this world. Because enjoying your life doesn't mean that you have to get everything you want. Enjoying your life, actually you know that Allah Ta'ala is giving you what is good for you, suitable for you. Not just anything you want he give you. No, what is suitable for you, good for you. That's why we ask Allah Ta'ala in our dua, we say Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah. Oh Allah, give us in this world hasanah, goodness. When you ask goodness in this world, is because the goodness you ask may come from the thing that you doesn't like. You doesn't like, but it goodness for you. Goodness in this world. Wa fil akhirah sana, and also goodness in the akhirah. Wa qina adzabannar, and oh Allah, protect us from the hellfire, the punishment of hellfire. He said also, falin nafsi alal muslimi haqqa. Then we say like this because there are rights for the soul upon a Muslim. What we are talking around now is actually because it's a right that we have to do for our soul, like we have to do for our needs of body. Kama qala Rasulullah sallam, like the saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wa innal nafsika alayka haqqa. Verily, for your soul upon you there is right. Actually, the saying of the Prophet, if you look back by why the Prophet said something like that, it's because happened that Abu Darda in the story, or in the story of Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As, okay, story of Abu Darda. And maybe we can say that the story come from both sides, because the Prophet is actually advising his companion to do the right things in searching to please Allah, but without lefting your soul or your body needs in this world. In the story of Abu Darda, it happened that his wife Darda being wearing what you say, harsh garment. She's a woman, but wearing harsh garment and doing works outside the house. And happened Salman Al-Farisi, who being put by the Prophet to become his brother, because when the Muhajirin came to Medina, Allah Ta'ala has told the Prophet to make sure that all the Muhajirin who came without any wealth, to have brother among their Ansar counterpart. So the Prophet did make Abu Darda and Salman Al-Farisi as brothers. So when Salman Al-Farisi came to Abu Darda house, and he saw Darda doing works and wearing harsh garment, actually it is actually totally opposite for a woman like soft and good good clothes. But happen to Darda, she wear something like that. So when Salman Al-Farisi asked for Abu Darda, what happened to you? So Darda say, go inside the house and look about take a look at your brother. Take a look about your brother. I wear like this because your brother. So when Salman Al-Farisi entered the house, he saw Abu Darda is fasting, reciting Quran, actually doing ibadah. So Salman Al-Farisi want to make sure, want to give an advice to Abu Darda, but he doesn't give it right away. So when he at the house, so then Abu Darda serve food for him. He swear upon Allah Ta'ala name that he will not eat until Abu Darda eat with him. So Abu Darda break his fast. So he stay at the house from that time until night, and at the night when he want to sleep, the beginning of the night after Isha. Then Abu Darda start to pray. Salman al-Farisi say to him, go to sleep, go to sleep. So Salman al-Farisi said to him, then he go to sleep. And at the second the half of the night, Abu Darda try to go and to pray once again. Then Salman al-Farisi said, go sleep. And after last third of the night, Salman al-Farisi himself wake up Abu Darda and tell him, come pray. Then in the morning, before Salman al-Farisi left the house of Abu Darda, he said to Abu Darda the saying that the thing actually the Prophet, Inna alayka li badanika haqqa. It is upon you for your body. For your body, you have an obligation, the right to you have to do. Wa inna alayka li ahlika haqqa. And for you, for your wife, upon you, for your wife, that's right, you have to do. So because when he put himself in ibadah and left out everything, so it's actually it's wrong. That not the way of the Prophet being telling us to do. So in the saying, the Prophet did say, in other saying, the Prophet said, Inna li nafsika alayka haqqa. For your soul, upon you, that's right. You have to do it. Wa yukhti'u man yazunnu anna haqqan nafs yakunu bitashdid alayha. And it is wrong. It is wrong. Incorrect. Whoever thought that the right of the soul is by firm, to become firm upon the soul and forbidding it. Bitashdid alayha wa hirmaniha min huquqiha allati fataraha Allahu nufusa ala ihtiyajiha ilayha. Actually and stopping, forbidding it from the soul from its right that Allah Ta'ala has created the soul needing it, because the soul need, Allah Ta'ala give the soul needs the desire. You cannot just put it away and you say that no desire for the soul, because Allah Ta'ala give the soul desire, like the one thing of a man want to marry a woman. There's a hikmah there, because if there's no desire between a man and a woman, then no child will be born in this world. So human will be extinct. Because no marriage, no children being born in this world, because people doesn't have any desire between man and woman. This idea, if we put it on the sense of everybody, if they follow a religion that forbid any connection between man and human, forbid what we say at all, cannot at all, it will become a reason for a human to extinct. So Islam doesn't ever put the topics like that, but Islam take it to make sure that become halal, and actually become the human race will continue to exist by the desire in the soul. Kama, and also it is also incorrect. Kama yukhti'u man yazunnu anna haqqan nafsi yakunu bitafrid. Whoever thought that the right of the soul is to be negligence, means that been let it free, be free. This is like what the most of what you say misguided sect or clan, or what you say, or group in this world, they are actually doing this. In Islam, we did found the one that doesn't want to eat, doesn't want to marry, doesn't want to everything. I thought that the one that we find in Islam. But in other outside of Islam, we did find people that actually say that the right of the soul, as you have to let it go, let it free, let it be free, ignoring its management. Ihmal siyasatiha wa tarkiha mughamisatan fi shahwatiha, and let it drown in its lust, wa nahwa dhalika, and any kind of that. Most of the say misguided group are actually doing this. Anything is okay, anything is halal, actually what we find right now, saying that if you let go your soul, then you will be happy. Everything you do. But we did see this for musician and drugs. They're doing drugs. They're having we say outside of marriage sex and everything. But they still doesn't have the happiness. They did do it and they doesn't have the happiness. Wahayhata an takuna tazkiyah an-nafs bimithli dhalika. It is impossible for the soul, purification of the soul, to be like that. Bal tazkiyah an-nafs, but the purification of the soul actually takunu it happen purification is happen by the by bil masalik syar'iyyah, by the syara' cause, means that whatever Allah Ta'ala given to us, the way it is, that is the way bitawassuti wal i'tidal, with the mediate and moderation, by mediate and moderation, fala ifrata wala tafrit, not over than it's supposed to be, and not wasted, not to be neglected, but bal biluzumi hadin nabi sallallahu, but by attaching oneself to the guidance of the Prophet, wa nahjihi, and his way, his straight way, nahjihil qawim, and his straight way. He said here, I will سأذكر في هذا المختصر, I will mention in this summary, because this is so little, 10 قواعد, 10 rules, 10 pillars, muhimmah, important rules, tu'inul muslima ala tazkiyah nafsihi wa tanmiyatih, that will help a Muslim to purify himself, wa tanmiyatiha, and to grow it, wa tathhiriha, and to cleanse it, min kulli ma yudannisuha wa yushinuha, from anything that will discredit it and besmirch the soul. Wa as'alullah ta'ala, and I ask Allah Ta'ala, an yuzakkiya nufusana, so that he purify our soul, wa an yusliha a'malana, and so that he mend to our deeds, wa an yusaddida aqwalana, and see to make right our saying, wa an yubassirana bil haqqi wa yarzuqana ittiba'ahu, and he ask Allah to make us see the truth and provide us to follow it. Wa yahdiyana li ahsan al akhlaq, and so that may Allah Ta'ala guide us to the best of manners, because we cannot be good manner except what Allah Ta'ala will guide us or give us, bestow upon us. Wa yusrifana sayyaha, and may he divert from us, move away from us the ordeals, from its ordeals, move away, divert from us the worst manners. Wa yujannibana al-fitana, and may Allah Ta'ala move away from us the ordeals, ma dhahara minha wa ma batan, whatever reveal upon it, or what is unrevealed, what reveal upon it and unrevealed. Wa sallallahu, and may Allah Ta'ala sallallahu ala nabina Muhammadin, and may Allah Ta'ala give good prayer upon our Prophet Muhammad, wa ala alihi, and upon his family, wa sahbihi, and our companion, wa salam, and may he give also a peace upon them. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. So Alhamdulillah, we have finished our introduction. Then inshallah we will enter after 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, because I don't next week, because these classes will be inshallah every week. This class will be every week. So we will enter into the first pillars, or the first rules, that will be Tawheed, aslu ma tazku bihi an-nufus. Tawheed is actually the origin that with what the soul will be purified. Tawheed. We will enter from the Tawheed first. Walillahi alhamd. So I will now look at inshallah if there are any question. Okay. Bismillah. Okay. Okay. What is the intention? Can we focus on this from these classes until next, if Allah Taala give us life till then, Ustaz? I'm River Sister in USA. Um, okay. What actually when you say about what the good intention, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did have a companion that uh, came to him and have the concern about the time of their meeting with the Prophet, because they can only come to the Prophet when the month of haram, which is Rajab or Zulqaidah, Zulhijjah, Muharram, the 4 months only they can move, because at that time many of the Arab tribes, the kuffar, actually being looting whoever pass by their village. So they said to the Prophet, "Inna la natika illa fi syahril haram." So we cannot come to you except for the syahril haram. So if you want to say, they have the concern about that. We also have the concern. Maybe we cannot achieve to be exist to the next month. Inshallah, wallahu alam. We ask from Allah Taala to make us be here, to have more we say classes and to have more guidance. But actually, whatever Allah Taala give to us from right now is actually enough for us, because the Prophet did say to them, "I want to tell you 4 things, and I want to forbid you from 4 things." The 4 things that the Prophet forbid them, because they only come to the Prophet yearly, can only come to the Prophet yearly. So they ask the Prophet, "Tell us things that you tell us, we tell whoever after us," because at that time they didn't think that Islam will be winning and will be a big nation. So they said that tell us things that we learn, we hear from you, we learn, and we tell our children, and they do it, and we all go to heaven. So the Prophet said to them to do actually 4 things and to avoid 4 things. The 4 things that the Prophet tell them to avoid is actually concerning about liquor or intoxicated drinks. But the 4 things that the Prophet said to them to do is actually to do what being obligated upon us. The Prophet said, "Amurukum bil iman billah." I want to command you to be iman billah, to be belief in Allah. Then the Prophet said, "Ataduna bil iman billah wahdah." Do you know that what is what is the meaning of believing in Allah, only Allah? So the Prophet said, "Syahadati alla ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah wa tuqimus salah wa tutuz zakah." The Prophet said something, said the things that actually the pillars of Islam is enough for us. Doing that in sensing that we are actually doing what our Lord Allah want us to do is enough for now. Inshallah, may Allah Ta'ala make us meet our meeting for the next week and the week after that being prolonged, and we got the benefit from it. So focus right now. Actually, just focus for the obligation that Allah Ta'ala give you, and to feel that you are a servant of Allah. You're doing everything because you want to get the favor of Allah. Nothing more than that is enough. Because the Prophet did say to the Bedouins, that say that when he met the Prophet, and he said to the Prophet, your messenger came to me and said that you are the Prophet. He asked the Prophet about 5 pillars of Islam. After he asked about 5 pillars of Islam, the shahadah, and after that salah and zakah and saum and hajj, he said to the Prophet, "I will not make it less than that, I will not exceed from that. The Prophet said to the companion, whoever want to see a member of of the paradise, look at this guy. Whoever want to see at the member of the paradise, a person that will enter paradise, look at this guy. Because the thing what being obliged upon us to do is enough for now. Because we actually even the companion of the prophet, when they learn Quran, when they learn from the prophet, they only learn 10 ayat, 10 ayat from the Quran, and they don't turn over, don't go over the 10 ayat until they already understand, doing everything from the 10 things, 10 ayat that they learn, and after they know the ilmu and the amal from that ayat, what the deeds they have to do, then only they learn the next one. So for us, for today, inshallah, is enough. It is enough, inshallah. Okay. Inshallah, I think we can close our class today. Inshallah, may Allah Taala make us to have the opportunity to come again. We will enter to the first pillar or the first rule of purification of our soul is so important, so that we got the guidance from Allah Taala, inshallah, so that I will benefit and you also benefit from what we learned today. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa sallam, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.